Welcome to NEXTGames Sortie series. In today's episode, we will be quickly going over my results of my weekend runs in Zone A, and then we'll be moving on to my first complete Zone B run, which I did today. So in our last episode, I presented a method to get all 7 coffer triggers in Zone A. Now over the weekend, I was able to replicate my results from that video 2 additional times, and have also confirmed several other things. One is that the day of the week does not matter. I specifically did not use spells that were associated with the current day of the week that I was on, and the chest spawned just the same. Now in both runs, I was able to enter and use Elemental and Jitsu to kill 7 mobs with just Elemental and Jitsu magic, and spawn all 3 of those initial chests. Normally with the Shard chest spawning first on kill 3, the blue chest spawning on kill 5, and the metal chest spawning on kill 7. Now on both of the days, I did a single mob weapon skill kill on one of those 7 kills, and I still ended up with all 3 chests in 7 kills. So this is definitely a reliable way to do it, but what if you can't use magic in this fashion? Well, I've heard of some others having success this weekend on the metal chest by simply meleeing it down the entire fight with white damage and not using any weapon skills or skill change of any kind. It looks like it will count just like you had done elemental magic, so that is an option available to you. Then, after you've gotten both the blue and metal chest, you would then want to use Shantoto 2 to magic burst and finish off one of the mobs for your final shard chest. Now in regards to the NMs, I was able to kill 4 Leech NMs over the weekend by killing him once in both runs, then respawning him and killing him again, and then I killed the Gajot NM 2 additional times, both of them without any issues whatsoever. I also was able to kill the Pixie NM in Zone B once late in yesterday's run. Despite all of those NM kills though, I did not see a single Sapphire or Old Box from all of it, so these drops are indeed seeming more and more rare as time goes on. I was also able to finally upgrade my first piece of MP gear, and after waiting until the next day, I am now 1 of 5 on Ninja MP plus 2 gear. Let's go ahead now and move on to today's run in Zone B. Now in today's run, I chose to focus solely on Zone B in an effort to try and figure out all 7 objectives in a single run, based on some of the successes others have had in getting their triggers in Zone B. Now sadly, I was only able to achieve 5 of 7 triggers, but in those 5, I do get both the shard and metal key items, so if you're looking for information on those, I can definitely help you out. Now the only 2 chests that I couldn't get to spawn are the blue chest, which will just spawn randomly from elementals, and the Porxie chest once you kill the Porxie NM. Let's go ahead and discuss exactly what I did today so we can analyze it and come up with a different plan for tomorrow to try and get those 2 last chests. First, upon entry, I checked for the Leech NM to see if I could get a quick NM kill. Sadly, he was behind the D gates, so I immediately warped to device A, which is just a short run from the A locked gate that you see here. This is where your journey should begin if you're heading to Zone B for the first time. Once you get through the A locked door shown, the first thing we should do is get the B key item. To do so, we need to walk through all 6 numbered gates in order. To do this, I suggest you start with B1 right here just past the umbrals. Then go through it and get B2. You're then going to have to backtrack and go north back past those umbrals again to get to gate B3. You then need to head back southwest to where you entered Zone B at and take the southwest section of that room to find the B4 door. Now as you pass through the B4 door and down the hallway, you will pass by a device. Be sure to give it a hooray emote and you will unlock the first Zone B coffer and get the key B plate key item. Keep running a short ways down the path that you've been going down and you will find door B5 to open. Go through it and hug the wall that is on your left, which after a few turns will lead you to gate B6. Once opened, we achieve our second coffer trigger and get the key B key item. Now I was able to do all of this in the first 10 minutes of my run, so it really doesn't take long to get all that done. Now for the next 3 coffer triggers, we need to kill mobs in Zone B. The main report that I was counting on was the one stating that you would get a blue chest from physical weapon skill kills, a shard chest with magic damage kills, possibly of the opposing element for what it is you're fighting, and a metal chest with magic weapon skills triggering its creation. So I headed for the area with dark elementals and stone elementals and planned to kill them with a variety of methods, and I did end up with both the shard and metal key items, but not by doing what was reported by others. Now as you watch me take out these elementals, let's go over exactly what I did for each of them and when coffers spawned for me in an effort to fish out exactly what triggered them. So I'm going to put up on the screen the order of the mobs I killed so that you can follow along as I discuss them. Now all of the dark elemental fights involved light skill chains with thunder magic burst, and all of the earth elemental fights were light skill chains with wind magic burst. The only thing that really changes from fight to fight, other than that, is what I killed the mob with, so that's where we're going to focus. Now mob number 1 was a dark elemental that we finished off with a hybrid weapon skill. Mob number 2 was a stone elemental that we finished off with a hybrid weapon skill as well. Mobs 3 and 4 were both dark elementals, and we finished both of them off with thunder magic burst. This brings us to the 5th mob, which was an earth elemental. We used a physical weapon skill to take on and finish off this earth elemental, and after he was defeated, the shard coffer spawned. So to recap, to get the shard coffer to spawn, all I had to do was 2 hybrid weapon skills, 2 magic burst, which happened to be thunder on dark elementals, and 1 physical weapon skill on an earth elemental. Now, that is a pretty odd assortment of things, so we're going to go ahead and check that again tomorrow, but that is indeed what happened during my run. Moving on to the 6th mob, which was another dark elemental, and the 7th mob, a dark elemental. Both of them finished off with thunder magic burst. For the 8th mob, it was an earth elemental that we finished off this time with a fire magic burst. The 9th mob was kind of different. It was an earth elemental that we used hybrid weapon skills on, and we finished this one off with a distortion skill chain. For the 10th mob, it was another earth elemental. We went back to using light skill chains with wind magic burst on this one, and we finished this one off with a wind magic burst. This happened to be our 5th magic burst kill, and sure enough, the metal coffer spawned on it. So it appears, at least in our case, 5 magic burst ended up spawning the chest. Now all 5 of these magic bursts were the opposing element for the particular mob, or one of the mob's weaknesses. So I'm unsure at this time whether that's required, but I just wanted to point out that was the case in all 5 of my kills. So at this point, it had taken us 15 minutes to kill those 10 elementals. So I was hopeful that we would see the blue chest soon. Sadly, we didn't, and this is what the next few mobs look like. First, we have an earth elemental we killed with a hybrid weapon skill. An earth elemental we killed with a physical weapon skill. Another earth elemental we killed with a physical weapon skill. Another dark elemental we killed with a thunder magic burst. A dark elemental that we killed with a physical weapon skill. And for the 16th mob, we killed that one as well with a physical weapon skill. That marked the 5th physical weapon skill kill, and nothing occurred. There's only 25 minutes left in the run at this point, so I went ahead and switched camps. I went to the fire elemental's location, and for mob 17, I killed a fire elemental with a physical weapon skill. Mob 18, a thunder magic burst. Mob 19, Monborough actually killed that fire elemental with a dark potion. And mob number 20 was a hybrid weapon skill. This happened to be the 5th hybrid weapon skill kill, and no chest dropped. Now at this point I was down to only 18 minutes left, so I decided to see if I could get the Porxie to drop their chest. Now I killed Porxie with a multi-step light skill chain, and from what I read, the killing blow needs to take the Porxie from 20% hit points down to 0 with a single magic burst. But my most potent burst, even with Fute, only takes about 10% of his health, so I'm unsure on how exactly I'm going to pull this one off, if that is indeed the trigger. Now the first Porxie was killed with a physical weapon skill. Of course, that Porxie did not drop the chest, and I wanted a second try at it, so I ran to the device and resummoned all the mobs in Zone B and tracked down Porxie again. This time I did kill it with a magic burst, but no chest, so it must not have been for enough damage, as once again, no chest spawned. Now tomorrow, I intend on verifying the results from today by starting with 5 magic burst kills to get the metal coffer, then doing some hybrid and physical weapon skill kills to get the shard coffer to spawn, and then to kill elementals in a different area of Zone B, using some different methods to kill them to try and see if we can get that darn blue chest to spawn. I also intend on doing a few more Porxie kills tomorrow at the end of the run, so if you have any working theories on how to make that chest spawn, please please don't hesitate to share them down in the comments, and I will see if I can give those a try tomorrow. Now, after I get all 7 of these coffer triggers figured out, I'll try the Zone B boss to see what we can do there. That's going to be it for episode 5 of the Sortie series. I hope you're finding this helpful. If this is your first visit to my channel and you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click the subscribe button under the video and the bell icon next to it to be notified when my future videos are released. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.